Hello folks, my name is Joel and I'm going to walk through a replacement of the blade on an oscillating type or stirrup hoe. I don't have the handle of the tool mounted for this. I just grabbed a new head out of stock. Obviously there's normally a wooden handle in this head. This is the 7-inch model of the stirrup hoe, but we sell a 5-inch as well, and the procedure is the same on both of them. This is the Ammann brand Swiss-made stirrup hoes that we sell here at Earth Tools. So the replacement, the blade here, which is made out of hardened spring steel, is replaceable. We have these in stock mostly all the time. There are rivets holding it in there from the factory. Now when we supply a replacement blade, we don't supply it with rivets because they're kind of hard to deal with unless you have a rivet gun. We supply it with bolts and nuts. But the question I get a lot of times on the phone is, how do you get these rivets out? Well, the easiest way to do it is just to drill the heads off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it in a vise, and you can do this with the handle mounted, of course. It's just slightly more awkward, but it still works. So I'm a vise to hold it. It'll run off on us. The pop rivets that are in there from the factory have a hole in the center, so that kind of self-centers the drill bit. I'll use a drill bit here that's just slightly larger than the shank of the screw. This is the screw we put in there, so this is a little bigger. So basically that's going to drill the head off the rivet. As soon as that rivet head pops off, I'm going to stop drilling. There it goes. So we'll do that on all fours. And that's what happened. That was kind of funny. That's because there's a spring load here, and as soon as that rivet let loose, it just popped off. But I didn't have my vise tight enough either. So we'll do this on the other side here. Okay. Now we got to get what's left of the rivet out of here, because the part of the shank of the rivet is still in there. Obviously there was nothing wrong with this blade, but we'll pretend this was the worn out blade and I just threw it away. So I will grab the pliers here. Just see if I can wrestle these out of here. Yep, there they come. Just pop right out. Now that one's going to be a little more stubborn. There goes. Any kind of pliers will work here. You can also take a little punch and just drive them out from the other side. Come on out of there, bugger. Now this one's being just right stubborn. There we go. Maybe I should have grabbed the punch and driven them out. This pliers is kind of half worn out too. But that's probably like the pliers you've got in your toolbox anyway, so this is real life, folks. Well, I'm going to get the punch. I'm tired of fooling with this thing. Up, 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 up. In this case is rested over an opening in the vise. Put the punch in the middle of it. Bang. That was easier. Okay, now that we've thrown away our other blade because it was worn out, we'll use this blade to put back on it. Aha, it's the same blade, but no, we won't say that. So then we'll take these little bolts we supply with it are an Allen head. So they're lower profile and pass through the soil better. It doesn't really matter if you put the Allen head on the outside or the inside, but I usually put them from the outside in. These are lock nuts, so one end of the nut is actually deformed slightly to make it hold tight to the shaft, so the one end of the nut will start easier on the bolt. So just start it from the end that starts easier. Okay. And then you'll have to flex this blade up into position to get the holes lined up here on the next one. Hold it in place, get a nut on it, and I know I started with 4 bolts here. Great, nope, I knocked one on the floor. You'll do that in real life too, so that's, you know, you want to watch for that. Keep all your hardware in one place. All right, you can use an 8mm wrench or 5/16, same size actually, and let's see, what is that? That's a 3mm Allen wrench. And just tighten these down. Usually do the final tightening on the nut side. You can get a little tighter. And then just do all 4. And then you're ready to go back to work in the garden. I won't bore with you with doing the ones on the other side. That's how it's done. If this here is also a rivet where the head does its oscillation, and if that ever wears through, you can replace that with a nut and bolt that you get at a hardware store. Just make sure to get a lock nut so that it stays on there. Thanks for watching.